Hi, my name is Alia Khan, and I'm a part of the class of 2020 at University Liggett School. In this video, I'll be talking about my ARP topic, which is green burial.
In recent years, the stability of Earth's climate has proved to be rapidly declining in the wake of human interference and industry. Traditional cemeteries leak embalming fluids into groundwater, discharge excess fluids, bodily and otherwise, into septic tanks and sewage systems, heavily use biocides for land maintenance, and rely on fossil fuels for digging and grooming graves. According to the National Directory of Morticians Red Book, in 2019 there were 19,136 funeral homes in the U.S., but these funeral homes overlook one glaring issue. Every year, we bury enough embalming fluid to fill 8 Olympic-sized swimming pools, enough metal to build the Golden Gate Bridge, and so much reinforced concrete and burial vaults that we could build a 2-lane highway from New York to Detroit, according to Joe Seehey, Executive Director of the Green Burial Council. Green, or natural burials, are a minimalist, cost-effective, and personal alternative to common funeral traditions and rituals.
I've always been super passionate about the environment. I spend a lot of my free time at national parks or nature reserves or even just walking around in my neighborhood. And I know that when I pass away, I definitely want a green burial. However, I also very much realized that that was a really easy conclusion for me to come to. I hold ecological issues very close to my heart, and it seemed very logical to me, especially since I found out about them when I was pretty young. But I know a lot of people have no clue what green burial entails or anything about it other than the fact that it's more environmentally conscious. So for my project, I designed a lesson plan for one class period of environmental history in which I would discuss the history and reasoning behind green burial with the class through activities, textual analysis, and discussions. Since the class could not be taught due to COVID-19, I would love to perform one of these activities that I made with you. If you would like to participate, I highly recommend getting something to write with and to write on, but you could totally do it in your head if you want. So for this activity, I would like you to consider what you think a green cemetery might look like. When you think about the American funeral industry, what stands out to you as harmful to our environment? Do you see any solutions to these issues? How do you think our funeral industry could have a positive impact on the earth if it doesn't already? You could jot down some ideas, draw out a design, however you want to answer these prompts. I would recommend that you pause this video and take 5 minutes to complete this activity now. Now that you've thought about what a green burial could look like, I would like to explain what a green burial actually is. Please note the similarities between your ideas and the reality, but more importantly, note what's different and ask yourself how and why. Hopefully during the rest of this video, I'll be able to answer those questions.
The main differences between green burials and traditional burials are the amount of materials used, the scenery, and the preparation of the body. Certified natural burial providers offer biodegradable caskets as shown here or shrouds to bury the body in. Contrary to traditional burials, there are no varnishes, preservatives, or sealants that will leach from the casket into the surrounding soil. Furthermore, concrete burial vaults are not used since decomposition is the goal. Headstones are omitted in favor of indigenous rocks in order to preserve the natural landscape, but some green burial sites will not allow any demarcation of grave sites and instead refer to natural landscapes such as trees or certain plants when trying to find a grave. This allows people to find the burial spot of their loved ones without altering the natural appearance and atmosphere of the natural cemetery. Additionally, embalming is completely forbidden. Embalming is the process of draining the blood and other fluids from one's body and replacing them with chemicals, including formaldehyde, methanol, and dyes, which are disposed of through sewage systems. Although it may provide closure for some to see their loved ones for the last time, its sole purpose is to slow down decomposition in order to maintain a suitable appearance for visitations. Green burials often omit visitations due to the odor of decomposition unless a private viewing is requested, so there is no need for embalming or beautification. Bodies are simply kept on dry ice or frozen if there is a delay in the burial process to naturally put off decomposition. But green burials can offer other forms of closure. Nature and all of the beauty it presents is usually able to lift the mood. Personally, I'm able to appreciate the beauty of endemic flora and fauna, and I take great joy in simply wandering through a forest whenever I get the chance. Along with many others, I find it extremely relaxing to be surrounded by the sounds of nature, and it can even be more comforting than expected when tied together with something as dark as death. Kelly Joyner, whose mother chose a green burial, put it beautifully. We could hug the tree and it was like she was hugging us back, she says. The Green Burial Council defines a burial as green if it practices caring for the dead with minimal environmental impact that aids in the conservation of natural resources, reduction of carbon emissions, protection of worker health, and the restoration and/or preservation of habitat. The Green Burial Council delineates 3 types of green cemeteries. A natural burial is the Green Burial Standard, while a hybrid cemetery contains both a traditional cemetery and natural grounds for green burial. A conservation burial ground takes natural burial a step further and not only offers a minimalist burial but features intensive land preservation, endemic flora and fauna, and restoration in order to keep the land as untouched as possible. Since there are varying levels of ecological commitment and comparisons to traditional funerals, green burial options exist for everyone. Even past that, there are other burial practices, while not approved by the Green Burial Council, have a lessened impact on the environment when compared to traditional funerals. Cremation is one example. While it may not be environmentally friendly per se, cremation uses the same amount of energy as a 500-mile car ride. It's definitely less wasteful and impactful when compared to a traditional burial.
Personally, I believe that many people do not choose green burial due to the importance of family traditions and values, as well as cultural biases, but also due to a lack of an awareness. Many people who do choose green burial already hold ecological issues very close to their heart, but those who might not keep up with advances regarding climate change may not be aware of green burial. It's a fairly new topic that has only gained publicity in recent years. Viral news stories about mushroom burial pods or human compost tend to catch people's eye. But the first green burial site in America only opened in 1998, so hopefully this will become a permanent occurrence and not just a trend. My family has a family plot in a traditional cemetery, but when I first spoke with my mother about green burial, I could see her expression change from confusion and she was kind of lost, to an expression of excitement and like, wow, this is actually something that I could do. And she told me that she was actually really considering it, even though we have our family plot. Immediately after I told her how much waste the funeral industry produced, she got a visceral reaction, and that's kind of what I thought would happen. Thus, I came to the conclusion that while some may always stick with tradition regardless of sustainability, the concept of sustainability as well as rethinking tradition, along with the idea of waste and how much waste certain industries produce, are very important, especially when considering green burial. Not everyone will choose a green burial, and it may never replace commonplace funeral traditions, but every step is a step in the right direction, and it always will make an impact no matter how small. I hope that this video is helping you reflect upon your own traditions, and while you definitely don't have to choose a green burial if you don't want to, even just considering the benefits of altering potentially harmful traditional practices is an important conversation, and I hope that this topic has helped spark that. Thank you so much for watching.